Biorhythm. A recurring cycle in the physiology or functioning of the body, such as the daily cycle of sleeping and waking. Carouse. Drink alcohol and enjoy oneself with others in a noisy, lively way. Cyme. A flower cluster with a central stem bearing a single flower on the end that develops first. Defoliate. Remove leaves from trees or plants. Feverfew. An aromatic plant with feathery leaves and daisy-like flowers, used as an herbal remedy for headaches. Flameproof. A fabric, treated so as to be non-flammable. Flimflam. Informal one insincere and unconvincing talk. Fluoroscope. An instrument used for viewing X-ray images without taking and developing X-ray photographs. Freebooter. A person who behaves in an illegal way for their own advantage. Garnishee. Variant of garnish, sense. Gunnel. Variant spelling of gunnel. Harelip. Offensive term for cleft lip. Haricot. A round white variety of French bean. Internee. A prisoner. Iving. Being alive. Lateen. Also lateen sail, a triangular sail on a long yard at an angle of 45 degrees to the mast. Leoneize. Treat someone as a celebrity. Locution. A word or phrase. Mensuration. The measurement of something. Microanalysis. The analysis of chemical compounds using a sample of a few milligrams. Odontology. The scientific study of the structure and diseases of teeth. Passion flower. A climbing plant with a flower whose parts are said to suggest objects associated with Jesus' crucifixion. Pensione. A small hotel or guest house in Italy. Phalangeal. Anatomy relating to a phalanx or the phalanges. Pro-choice. Supporting the right of a woman to choose to have an abortion. Puckish. Playful and mischievous. Pyrethrum. A plant of the daisy family, typically with brightly colored flowers. Quenelle. A small ball of ground meat or fish. Quincunx. N. Radiophonic. Relating to sound that is produced electronically. Rapacity. Greed. Right-handed. Of a person using the right hand more naturally than the left. Self-employed. Working for oneself as a freelance or the owner of a business rather than for an employer. Semiology. Another term for semiotics. Semi-permeable. Allowing small molecules to pass through but not large ones. Sententious. Given to making pompous comments on moral issues. Serialism. A technique of musical composition using the 12 notes of the chromatic scale, one that rises or falls by half steps, in a fixed order that is subject to change only in specific ways. Shangri-La. A very pleasant or unspoiled place. sky high, and adjective very high. Somnambulism, sleepwalking. Steelyard, a weighing device that has a short arm taking the item to be weighed and a long graduated arm along which a weight is moved until it balances. Styptic, able to stop bleeding. Suborn, persuade or bribe someone to commit an unlawful act such as perjury. Uncharismatic, lacking the charm that can inspire admiration in others. Unguent, a soft substance, especially a perfumed oil, used as ointment or for lubrication. Vaporetto, vaporetti/radit/ or vaporettos, in Venice, a canal boat used for public transportation. Viscid, sticky in consistency. Vulgarian, a person who lacks good taste and sophistication, especially one who is wealthy. Weblink, another term for hyperlink. Wide-ranging, covering an extensive range of subjects or issues. Befuddle, muddle or confuse someone. Breastwork, a low temporary defense or parapet. Britisher, informal, especially in North America, a British person. Cholecalciferol, a form of vitamin D, produced naturally in the skin by the action of sunlight. Cowpoke, informal, a cowboy. Deflower, dated or literary, have sex with a woman who is a virgin. Deprogram, stop someone from being brainwashed or excessively influenced. Doornail, dead, used for emphasis. Door prize. Escheat, chiefly historical, the return of property to the government, or, in feudal law, to a lord, if the owner should die without legal heirs. Extrusive, that has been forced out at the Earth's surface as lava or other volcanic deposits. Farthingale, historical, a hooped petticoat or circular pad of fabric around the hips, formerly worn under women's skirts to extend and shape them. Golddigger, informal, a woman who forms relationships with men purely for financial gain. Gollywog, dated, a soft doll with a black face and fuzzy hair. Iconostasis, a screen bearing icons, separating the sanctuary of many Eastern churches from the nave. Ineradicable, unable to be destroyed or removed. Intellectualize, make something seem rational or logical. Irresolute, uncertain. Jink, change direction suddenly and nimbly. Kaiseki, a style of traditional Japanese cuisine in which a series of very small, intricate dishes are prepared, a meal served in this style. Kedge, move a boat by hauling in a hawser attached at a distance to an anchor. Knapweed, a plant with purple thistle-like flower heads. Let up, informal, a brief time when something becomes less intense, difficult, or tiring. Microdot, a photograph, especially of a printed document, reduced to a very small size. Notarize, have a signature on a document confirmed as legal by a notary. Orate. Make a speech, especially a long or pompous one. Overstress. Cause too much stress to someone or something. Phagocyte. A type of body cell that surrounds and absorbs bacteria and other small particles. Piccalilli. An Indian relish made of chopped vegetables, mustard, and hot spices. Pipistrelle. A small insect-eating bat. Pylorus. The opening from the stomach into the small intestine. Sawhorse. A frame or trestle that supports wood for sawing. Shadowboxing. Sparring with an imaginary opponent as a form of training. Slattern. Dated a dirty, untidy woman. Stopcock. An externally operated valve regulating the flow of a liquid or gas through a pipe. Superduper. Humorous for very good, marvelous. Tessera. A small tile or block of stone used in a mosaic. Teuton. 1. A member of an ancient Germanic people who lived in Jutland. Trifoliate. Having 3 small leaves. Tristesse. Literary estate of melancholy sadness. Unconsecrated. Not made or declared to be holy or sacred. Underskirt. A petticoat. Unsheath. Pull a knife or similar weapon out of a sheath. Wimbrel. A small curlew with a striped crown and a trilling call. Yaz. Informal tease someone playfully. Archaism. An old or old-fashioned word or style of art or language. Astatine. A very unstable radioactive chemical element belonging to the halogen group. Bootless. Old use of an action, not successful or useful. Cablegram. Historical a telegraph message sent by cable. Celandine. A yellow-flowered plant of the buttercup family. Chirrup. Of a small bird, make repeated short high-pitched sounds. Cinquefoil. A plant with leaves made up of 5 leaflets and 5-petaled yellow flowers. Claque. A group of people who follow someone in an obsequious way. Clomp. Walk heavily. Cocotte. A small dish in which individual portions of food can be cooked and served. Computerize. Convert something to a system or form that is controlled, stored, or processed by computer. Co-opt. Make someone a member of a committee or other body by invitation of the existing members. Couverture. Chocolate with extra cocoa butter to give a high gloss, used to cover candies and cakes. Cryosurgery. A type of surgery using instruments that freeze and destroy diseased or unwanted tissue. Devilment. Reckless mischief. Downspout. A pipe to carry rainwater from a roof to a drain or to ground level. Espalier. A fruit tree or ornamental shrub whose branches are trained to grow flat against a wall. Ghostwrite. Write something for someone else who is named as the author. Golden seal. A woodland plant of the buttercup family whose bright yellow root has medicinal and antibacterial properties. Guttersnipe. A scruffy, badly behaved child who spends most of their time on the street. Hammerlock. An arm lock in which a person's arm is bent up behind their back. Hartebeest. A large African antelope with a long head and sloping back. Impenitent. Not feeling shame. Intersexual. Existing or occurring between the sexes. Isometrics. A system of. Kingbird. A large American tyrant flycatcher, typically with a gray head and back and yellowish or white underparts. Lindane. A synthetic insecticide, now restricted in use due to its persistence in the environment. Lock-in. An arrangement that obliges a person or company to negotiate or trade only with a specific company. Mantrap. A trap for catching people. Mihrab. A niche in the wall of a mosque at the point nearest to Mecca, toward which the congregation faces to pray. Millenary. A period of 1,000 years. Miry. Very muddy or boggy. Nonagon. A plane figure with 9 straight sides and 9 angles. Odoriferous. Giving off a smell, especially an unpleasant one. Old-fashioned. No longer current or modern, outdated. Old-fashioned. Approve or agree to something. Parimutuel. A form of betting in which gamblers backing the first 3 places divide the loser's stakes. Patai. Variant spelling of pasty. Piggish. Greedy, dirty, or unpleasant. Pratfall. Informal for a fall onto one's buttocks. Proctology. The branch of medicine concerned with the anus and rectum. Propinquity. Nearness in time or space, proximity. Pullet. A young hen, especially one less than 1 year old. Pyrexia. Raised body temperature, fever. Schoolmarm. Old use a schoolmistress, especially one who is prim and strict. Splendiferous. Informal, humorous, very good, splendid. Triplane. An early type of aircraft with 3 pairs of wings, one above the other. Turnstone. A small short-billed sandpiper noted for turning over stones to find small animals. Uncomplimentary. Not expressing praise, rude or insulting. Unconcealed. Not concealed, obvious. Vulpine. Relating to or resembling a fox or foxes. Yupik. A member of an Eskimo people of Siberia, the Aleutian Islands, and Alaska. Budgerigar. A small Australian parakeet. Cardium. The membrane enclosing the heart. Chitter. Make a twittering or chattering sound. Cladistics. A method of classifying animals and plants based on only those shared characteristics that can be deduced to have originated in the common ancestor of a group of species during evolution. Commensurable. Formal, measurable by the same standard. Commodify. Turn into or treat as a mere commodity. Conduce. Formal, help to bring something about. Counterpoise. And verb, another term for counterbalance. Counterproductive / counterproductive / p, adjective having the opposite of the desired effect. Crosshatch. Shade an area with many intersecting parallel lines. Cybersquatting. The practice of registering an internet domain name that a company or organization may later want for itself, in the hope of selling it back to them at a profit. Derange. USU as ADJ. Desideratum. Something that is needed or wanted. Discussant. A person who takes part in a discussion, especially a prearranged one. Exaction. Formal, for the action of exacting or demanding a payment. Excrescence. An abnormal growth protruding from a body or plant. Flatus. Medicine gas from the stomach or intestines, especially when voided through the rectum. Gas bag. Informal, a person who talks excessively about trivial things. Hatband. A decorative ribbon around a hat, just above the brim. Humectant. Retaining or preserving moisture. Id. A social event with Scottish or Irish folk music and singing, traditional dancing, and storytelling. Kinetoscope. An early motion picture device in which the images were viewed through a peephole. Malefactor. Formal, a criminal or other wrongdoer. Metatarsus. The group of bones in the foot, between the ankle and the toes. Mirthless. Lacking real amusement. Misdiagnose. Make an incorrect diagnosis of an illness. Nollie. A skateboarding jump performed without the aid of a takeoff ramp, executed by pressing the foot down on the nose of the board. Non-flammable. Not catching fire easily. Ornithopter. Chiefly historical, a flying machine with flapping wings. Overbalance. Fall or cause to fall due to loss of balance. Pasteboard. Thin board made by pasting together sheets of paper. Plowshare. The main cutting blade of a plow. Potage. Thick soup. Punch drunk. Confused or dazed as a result of a series of heavy blows to the head. Rearist. Arrest someone again. Runner-up. A competitor or team taking second place in a contest. Self-control. The ability to control one's emotions or behavior in difficult situations. Sexploitation. Informal, the commercial exploitation of sex, sexual attractiveness, or sexually explicit material. Steersman. A person who steers a boat or ship. Stir-fry. Fry food rapidly over a high heat while stirring it briskly. Thulium. A soft silvery white metallic chemical element. Tousle. Make a person's hair untidy. Eulage. the amount by which a container falls short of being full. Ungraceful. Lacking in grace. Unplowed. Not having been plowed. Upswept. Brushed upward and off the face. Whereafter. Formal after which. Win-win. In which each party benefits. Battle dress. Combat uniform worn by soldiers. Bone meal. Ground bones used as a fertilizer. Burbot. A fish that is the only freshwater member of the cod family. Conspectus. A summary or overview of a subject. Coruscating. Literary flashing or sparkling. Cross-border. Passing, occurring, or performed across a border between two countries. Exeunt. Actors, leave the stage. Gung-ho. Too eager to take part in fighting or warfare. Heliograph. A device that reflects sunlight in flashes from a movable mirror, used to send signals. Hereupon. Old use after or as a result of this. Hobbyhorse. A child's toy consisting of a stick with a model of a horse's head at one end. Landlubber. Informal, a person who is not used to the sea or sailing. Layette. A set of clothing and bedclothes for a newborn child. Mummify. Especially in ancient Egypt, preserve a body by embalming and wrapping it. Nanobot. A submicroscopic self-propelled machine, especially one that has some freedom of action and can reproduce. Octuple. Consisting of 8 parts or things. Overtax. Make excessive demands on a person's strength or abilities. Peignoir. A woman's light bathrobe or negligee. Prizefight. A boxing match for prize money. Quinquennial. Lasting for or recurring every 5 years. Reface. Put a new facing on a building. Renumber. Change the number or numbers given to something. Saxifrage. A low-growing plant of rocky or stony ground, bearing small white, yellow, or red flowers. Scansion. The action of scanning a line of verse to determine its rhythm. Self-love. Care or concern for one's own well-being and happiness. Semi-conscious. Partially conscious. Short-term. Occurring over or relating to a short period of time. Spellchecker. A computer program that checks the spelling of words in a computer document. Stick-up. Informal and armed robbery in which a gun is used to threaten people. Subassembly. A unit assembled separately but designed to be incorporated with other units into a larger manufactured product. Suffuse. Gradually spread through or over. Surd. Mathematics, a number that cannot be expressed as a ratio of 2 whole numbers. Sybarite. A person who is very fond of luxury and pleasure. Thistledown. The light fluffy down of thistle seeds, which enables them to be blown about in the wind. Uncoil. Straighten from a coiled position. Unventilated. Not ventilated. Waveband. A range of wavelengths between two given limits, used in radio transmission. Whipsaw. A saw with a narrow blade and a handle at both ends. Yardbird. Informal one, a new military recruit, especially one given menial jobs to do. Antepenultimate. Last but two in a series. Buddleia. A shrub with clusters of lilac, white, or yellow flowers. Calcify. Harden something by a deposit of calcium salts. Candle power. The illuminating power of a light source, expressed in candelas, formerly candles. Catafalque. A decorated wooden framework used to support a coffin. Climacteric. The period of life when fertility is in decline, in women, menopause. Contractible. Able to be shrunk or capable of contracting. Debark. Leave a ship or aircraft. Decal. A continuous belt on either side in a papermaking machine, used for controlling the size of paper produced. Demotivate. Make someone less eager to work or make an effort. Distend. Swell because of internal pressure. Doodad. Informal one, an object whose name is not known or has been forgotten. Dulse. A dark red edible seaweed with flattened fronds. Dynast. A member of a dynasty, especially a hereditary ruler. Flummery. Empty talk, nonsense. Gadwall. A brownish-gray freshwater duck that is found across Eurasia and North America. Half-breed. Offensive, a person whose parents are of different races, especially an American Indian and a person of white European ancestry. Lazybones. Informal, a lazy person. Leastways. Dialect or informal at least. Loganberry. An edible soft red fruit, similar to a raspberry. Multi-hull. A boat with two or more, especially three, hulls. Murrain. An infectious disease affecting cattle. Niter. Potassium nitrate, saltpeter. Nymphette. An attractive and sexually mature young girl. Overact. Act a role in a play or movie in an exaggerated way. Parch. Make something dry through intense heat. Pastille. A small candy or lozenge. Peneplain. A level land surface produced by erosion over a long period. Plangent. Literary, of a sound, resonant and mournful. Pokeweed. A North American plant with red stems, spikes of cream flowers, and purple berries. Postdate. Put a date later than the actual one on a document or check. Quadripartite. Consisting of 4 parts. Reconvert. Change something back to a former state. Redound. Formal, contribute greatly to a person's credit or honor. Residuum. Technical, a chemical residue. Screamingly. To a very great extent, extremely. Smacker. Informal one, a loud kiss. Sobriquet. Variant spelling of sobriquet. Superabundant. Formal, occurring in very large quantities. Synchromesh. A system of gear changing in which the gear wheels are made to revolve at the same speed during engagement. Take up. A device for taking up slack or excess. Tetrameter. A line of verse made up of 4 metrical feet. Unbreathable. Not fit or pleasant to breathe. Upbraid. Criticize or scold someone. Agritourism. Tourism in which farms are open to the public for agricultural activities and as lodgings for vacationers. Alveolus. Any of the many tiny air sacs in the lungs. Bushwhack. Live or travel in wild or uncultivated country. Cigarillo. A small cigar. Coattail. Each of the flaps formed by the back of a tailcoat. Coxcomb. The crest or comb of a domestic cock. Credle. Variant spelling of credle. Curette. A small surgical instrument used to scrape away material, especially from the uterus. Cyanocobalamin. Vitamin B. Found in liver, fish, and eggs, a deficiency of which can cause pernicious anemia. Dunderhead. Informal, a stupid floors. Entrepot. A port or other place that acts as a center for import and export. Epilation. The removal of hair by the roots. Gunrunner. A person involved in the illegal sale or importing of firearms. Embed. Variant spelling of embed. Inextinguishable. Unable to be extinguished. Long distance. Traveling or operating between distant places. Nereid. Greek mythology, a sea nymph. Oniric. Formal, relating to dreams or dreaming. Open-hearted. Friendly and kind. Outstay. Stay somewhere for longer than the expected or permitted time. Overbook. Accept more reservations for a flight or hotel than there is room for. Pardoner. Historical, a person licensed to sell papal pardons or indulgences. Pentad. A group or set of 5. Pluralize. Make something more numerous. Prepubertal. Another term for prepubescent. Purlin. A horizontal beam along the length of a roof, supporting the rafters. Putrefy. Decay or rot and produce a very unpleasant smell. Radical. The part of a plant embryo that develops into the primary root. Re-educate. Educate or train someone to behave or think differently. Roomy. Watery. Rust-proof. Not able to be corroded by rust. Satinwood. The glossy yellowish wood of a tropical tree, used in making furniture. Sherd. Another term for potsherd. Shut-eye. Informal sleep. Spadework. Hard or routine work done to prepare for something. Sphygmomanometer. An instrument for measuring blood pressure, consisting of an inflatable rubber cuff that is fitted around the arm and connected to a column of mercury next to a graduated scale. Spiritless. Lacking courage, energy, or determination. Sportscast. A broadcast of sports news or a sports event. Straggle. Trail slowly behind the person or people in front. Sunbaked. Exposed to the heat of the sun. Supererogatory. More than what is needed or required, superfluous. Suppliant. A person who makes a humble request. Tenebrous. Literary dark, shadowy. Transfix. Make someone motionless transform with horror, wonder, or astonishment. Ulcerate. Develop into or become affected by an ulcer. Unconcern. A lack of worry or interest. Unpin. Unfasten or detach something by removing a pin or pins. Unscarred. Not scarred or damaged. Waterbird. A bird that lives on or near water. Weathercock. A weather vane in the form of a rooster. Westernize. Bring a country, system, etc., under the influence of the cultural, economic, or political systems of Europe and North America. White collar. Relating to the work done or people who work in an office or other professional environment. Bucket load. Informal, a large amount or number. Centavo. Centavos, a unit of money of Mexico, Brazil, and certain other countries, equal to 1/100th of the basic unit. Chiropody. The medical treatment of the feet. Chitlins. The smaller intestines of a pig, cooked for food. Choler. In medieval science and medicine, one of the 4 bodily humors, believed to be associated with an irritable temperament. Crampon. A metal plate with spikes, fixed to a boot for climbing on ice or rock. Equinoctial. Relating to or at the time of the equinox. Erotomania. Excessive sexual desire. Felucca. A small boat propelled by oars or sails, used especially on the Nile. Hinny. Hinnies, the offspring of a female donkey and a male horse. Importune. Harass someone with persistent requests. Keelboat. A yacht built with a permanent keel rather than a centerboard. Kinsfolk. Also kinfolk. Manful. Brave and determined. Mercerized. Chemically treated to make it strong and shiny. Misidentify. Identify someone or something incorrectly. Mortarboard. A hat with a stiff, flat square top and a tassel, worn as part of formal academic dress. Penurious. Formal one having no money, very poor. Potager. A kitchen garden. Protactinium. A rare radioactive metallic chemical element. Rapine. Literary the violent seizure of property. Sansei. A person born in the US or Canada whose grandparents were immigrants from Japan. Shiksa. Derogatory, in Jewish use, a non-Jewish girl or woman. Soubrette. A pert maidservant or similar minor female role in a comedy. Spume. Literary froth or foam. Stressful. Causing mental or emotional stress. Subaqueous. Existing, formed, or taking place underwater. Switchyard. A large railroad yard in which freight cars are organized into trains. Tailor-made. Made or adapted for a particular purpose or person. Tricentennial. The 300th anniversary of a significant event. Triumvir. Each of 3 public officials jointly responsible for overseeing any of the administrative departments. Waterski. Each of a pair of skis enabling the wearer to skim the surface of the water when towed by a motorboat. Well done. Carried out successfully or satisfactorily. Accelerando. And adjective music with a gradual increase of speed. Ago. Before the present, used with a measurement of time. Bewail. Express great regret or sorrow over. Bowerbird. An Australasian bird noted for the male's habit of building an elaborate structure to attract the female. Carminative. A drug that relieves flatulence. Cheroot. A cigar that has both ends open. Cul-de-sac. A street or passage closed at one end. Cup purse. Old use a pickpocket. Denude. Strip of covering, make bare. Fossilize. Preserve an animal or plant so that it becomes a fossil. Fruitarian. A person who eats only fruit. Gadabout. Informal, a person who is always traveling from one place to another enjoying themselves. Gentlefolk. Old use people of noble birth or good social position. Hoarfrost. A grayish-white, feathery deposit of frost. Homey. Variant spelling of homey. Horsewhip. A long whip used for driving and controlling horses. Howdah. A seat for riding on the back of an elephant or camel, usually having a canopy. Illimitable. Having no limits or end. Kinglet. A very small greenish bird with a bright orange or yellow crown. Limb. Literary depict or describe someone or something in painting or words. Manacle. A metal band or chain fastened around a person's hands or ankles to restrict their movement. Menhir. A tall upright stone erected as a monument in prehistoric times. Milfoil. Another term for yarrow. Mudflat. A stretch of muddy land left uncovered at low tide. Oilskin. Heavy cotton cloth waterproofed with oil. Palimony. In form of financial support given by one member of an unmarried couple to the other after separation. Popgun. A child's toy gun that shoots a harmless pellet or cork. Postlude. A concluding piece of music. Rastaman. Informal, a male Rastafarian. Refusnik. A Jew in the former Soviet Union who was refused permission to emigrate to Israel. Sarsen. A sandstone boulder of a kind used to construct Stonehenge and other prehistoric monuments in southern England. Sickroom. A room occupied by or set apart for people who are unwell. Sluggard. A lazy, inactive person. Splenetic. Bad-tempered or spiteful. Spumante. An Italian sparkling white wine. Starfruit. Another term for carambola. Steatite. The mineral talc occurring especially as soapstone. Surcease. The ending or stopping of something. Teeny-bopper. Informal, a young teenager who 1342 telegraph follows the latest fashions in clothes and pop music. Trichromatic. Having or using 3 colors. Unworked. Not cultivated, mined, or carved. Vamoose. Informal, leave somewhere hurriedly. Waltzer. A fairground ride in which cars are carried round a track that moves up and down. Welfarism. The principles or policies associated with a welfare state. Whistle stop. Very fast and with only brief pauses. Wineskin. An animal skin sewn up and used to hold wine tast ing. Blogroll. A list of hyperlinks to other weblogs. Cadge. Informal, ask for or get something without giving anything in return. Condign. Formal, of punishment, fitting and deserved. Curbstone. A long, narrow stone or concrete block, laid end to end with others to form a curb. Engorge. Swell or cause to swell with blood, water, etc. Gravlax. A Scandinavian dish of dry-cured salmon marinated in herbs. Greengage. A small greenish plum. Guck. Informal, a slimy, dirty, or otherwise unpleasant substance. Hardscape. The non-living or constructed fixtures of a planned outdoor area. Hip bone. A large bone forming the main part of the pelvis on each side of the body. Improvident. Not providing for future needs. Lamasery. A monastery of llamas. Lutetium. A rare silvery white metallic chemical element of the lanthanide series. Macumba. A religion of African origin practiced among black people in Brazil, using sorcery, ritual dance, and fetishes. Merchantable. Suitable for sale. Metaphysic. A system of metaphysics,